Check this out. In the classic 1998 anime Cowboy Bebop, the main character Spike Spiegel had an iconic phrase that he would state from time to time. That phrase would be, whatever happens, happen. It's a saying that embraces the unpredictability of the unknown. When you look at the current landscape of boxing, the sport is in great hands. Despite the things that get highlighted within the sport, those with an observant eye know that great fights are being made, and a crop of talented, up-and-coming fighters are on the rise, ushering in a new era for the sport. A great display of said matchups and talent is going to be shown on November 22nd with the latest edition of Riyadh season, The Ring 4. Every major fight on this card has high stakes as well as entertainment value. The one I want to focus on is Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. for the WBO welterweight title. Two young, undefeated, and game fighters will duke it out. Despite being the co-main event, it seems to be the most anticipated fight on the card. At 27, Devin Haney has quite an interesting career arc. From being the one chasing for the big title opportunity to finally getting one and winning it in a dominant manner, to becoming a guy moving up the pound-for-pound rankings, to losing in an embarrassing fashion, which will later be overturned due to his opponent getting caught using PEDs, to now regaining confidence and attempting to become a 3-division champion, something that could reclaim the esteem he's lost from a year ago. Standing in his way is the 24-year-old Brian Norman Jr., who's the current WBO welterweight champion, but is not being treated as such for the build of this fight. Norman Jr. has managed to gain some notoriety and consumer support due to the media appearances he has done for this fight build. To fully capitalize on this star potential, though, he's going to have to win this fight. Either way, the sport of boxing is in good hands despite who wins this fight. So here goes my breakdown and prediction of this bout. The big question coming into this fight is, which version of Devin Haney are we going to see? Are we going to see the same guy who showed great offensive prowess versus the likes of Vasily Lomachenko and Regis Prograis? Or will the more cautious and reserved version that fought Jose Ramirez be on display? Brian Norman Jr. has been planting the seed that Devin is going to run, and he wouldn't dare stand in the pocket with him. This is bait that Haney should not fall for. Don't try to pull a Shakur and attempt to fight this dude on the ropes and in the pocket for some useless pride points. The ranges that Haney should be operating from is the mid and long range. Haney shouldn't be on his bike unless he's looking to displace after winning an exchange or to throw off Norman's rhythm and forcing him to reset. Maintaining a proper distance should be the focus for Haney. There will be points where Haney will have to stop Norman in his tracks with his power shots. Down south, they like to eat squirrels. It's some good squirrel, man. Them things fat, but they catchable, man. Get you some of that roasted tail dipping in that barbecue sauce. Bubba just made that. In this fight, Haney's going to have to show him that the squirrel is unclean by landing those shots that's going to make Norman ass think twice about running in. Haney does like to clinch a lot. For this fight in particular, he should avoid clinching as much as he has in his previous fights. Being strategic with his clinches and not looking to force one whenever slight pressure is being applied. That's where his lateral movement with his hands up should come in at. Not to forget that a clinch fest is the kind of fight that favors Norman, because like Haney, he is one hugging ass brother, and I suspect him to be much stronger than Devin in that department. Haney is also going to have to tighten up on his defensive responsibility and avoid late fight mental lapses. When you watch the Lomachenko and Garcia fights, Haney begins to either abandon the game plan that had been working for him early on or fails to adjust to his opponent's new strategy. The key punches for Dev, first, he's going to have to let that 2 fly. The 1-2, 1-1-2, lead 2, counter 2. The 2 is going to have to be involved in some way, shape, or form in this fight and often. The second punch that will be key for Haney is the counter three. One thing I don't like that Haney does is throw that loaded lead three. The saying goes, you don't hook with a hooker. That loaded lead three is going to get Haney flatlined. I mean, you could see that thing coming from yesterday. Instead of the lead three, the counter three will be more suitable for Haney, especially considering the fact that Norman doesn't move his head off the line as much as he should. As for Norman Jr., Haney said that Norman's a bum. I don't agree with this assertion at all. He may be limited, but one thing about Brian Norman Jr., he got skills. I don't get this idea that he's this brawling brute with power. That's not his style at all. He's a boxer puncher. Now, he's not a great inside fighter, but he's a level or 5 above Devin in that department. And that should be the range where he should prefer this fight to be, and he should be looking to make it an ugly one. When he is not in this inside range, he should look to establish his own jab and throw his jab whenever Devin throws his, especially considering the fact that Norman has a 1-inch reach advantage over Haney. One of the reasons why Ryan Garcia had success against Haney was because he used his jab, and whenever he didn't, Haney had an easier time boxing him. The jab allowed Ryan to set up that left hook, and contrary to popular belief, Haney doesn't get hit with hooks all willy-nilly. Those are shots that must be set up on him because despite being touted as a defensive wizard, he does have some flawed remedies. The 1-3 combo is the one that Norman should be using in this fight. Norman will also need to diversify his attack from head to body, as well as being able to cut the ring off. When Norman get those opportunities to catch Haney in the corner or along the ropes, he should be digging down to the body with hooks and not smother his own punches as I have seen him do in his previous bouts. Norman does a great job of staying composed throughout a fight, but he does have moments where he gets reckless or overconfident. So he better be keen for this 12-round fight or Haney is going to take him to school. Norman's defense leaves more to be desired, but if he simply keep his hands up, it'll be more effective in his favor. The key punches for Norman are simple: establishing a jab and being able to set up punches off of that, such as the 1-3 combo, which could be the knockout blow for this fight. Another punch that will be key is the uppercut. Haney has this tendency of trying to smother his opponent's punches without throwing any of his own, and he does this with his eyes looking down at the canvas. If Norman is able to time him correctly and get the proper punch distance, a left or right uppercut can end this fight. This is a tough fight to assess on paper, but if I had to choose a winner, I believe that Devin Haney is going to win by unanimous decision. It's not going to be an easy win, though. I see him racking up an early lead. He may go through some early tribulation. However, I see him outboxing Norman Jr. Probably a 7-5, 8-4 scorecard. Either way, whoever wins this fight will be put in a great position for the future. Kudos to both of these men for taking this fight. And the winner should get full credit for winning the fight. So, whatever happens, happen. Till then, do the science.